Welcome back to the channel, Farmer with Nick. Thanks so much for joining me here again on Wisconsin Dairy Farm. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in back to the series here. And I've been kind of busy here and there, starting some new projects here on the farm that I'm going to update you with. And also, you can see I'm in the month of April now. So I've kind of past a few months. The last time I saw you guys on this playthrough series, I was doing some winter chores. So if you were watching the last episode, that's what I've been up to. So we have our same kind of cow, situation here with our cattle. Our calves now are 8 months right here. Drive through those puddles, and then our other cattle here are almost to reproductive health, and then we have our bull in there as well. So only 6 cows in here still. So if you're kind of new to the series or just kind of finding me here, this is where I'm at. Bunch of bales still kind of left over from winter, so that is perfect. I'm ready to kind of expand my cattle operation here, and then kind of full steam ahead into spring, honestly. And wow, look at a lot of manure. I gotta clean out these pens here from winter. So let me kind of take you along here, and we are going to be purchasing 2 new fields to the farm, expanding my operation that way. I'm going to be paying back some of my debt, and I am getting more cattle here in this episode. So first, let's go to the finances and pay back some of my debt. So I'm 100K in debt here with this challenge. So let's repay back some of this. So I think, let's do 5,000 at a time. So let's put that down to 75,000 now in debt. So paying back a little bit there. So 25,000. And let's get to some fields. Now the fields that I want, so if you're playing on this Wisconsin map, there's a couple main farms down south here. Here's like your elevator co-op area. You have your main road here, a couple other farms, and then this is the starting farm. Now the next 2 fields that I'm going to purchase, one is this cornfield right next to the farm, and it does have corn on it, so we'll have to get that off of the field here. But 8,000, so acre field here, and then another 1.4 acre field, another 8,000. So let's buy that, and that has, let me check, I think it has soybeans on it. Yep. So we got our bean field and then our corn field. So that's pretty nice. Going, expanding this way. And this was the obvious choice. I kind of contemplated, some of these other fields, or way over here, like this field I definitely want to buy, or this field kind of by the bigger cattle operation. But I felt like this was more appropriate. This was, only 16,000, when some change, and this was the obvious choice. So right next to the farm, look at, I already got the road access, so perfect. All right, and then yes, I do want to buy some more cattle. Let me show you what I've been up to though. So I have another fertilizing contract. I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, that's what you've been doing a lot of, but it has kind of helped me play a little bit slower here on this playthrough series, which I really have been enjoying. I've been enjoying kind of earning my money that way, playing a little slower, and it's been a lot of fun here. So I started this, and I guess let's take it up to the road, then I'll come back to this. And I just have a middle pass on this field. And then I remember on this field, it's like the edge that it doesn't really get with the GPS on. towards the end of the map, so I'll have to come back and do a little bit with that to get me my contract completed. But yeah, so I hope everyone's been having a good summer here. I know I took a little bit of time off here in between episodes in real life here before getting another episode out, and I think it's kind of good, you know, take a little break from the game, and now it's been nice to kind of get back into it. Kind of keeps it fresh a little bit too for me, and not like wearing out so fast, you know, just trying to push content out, and then you know, in the meantime I do other things. We had some family vacations, we have other vacations here scheduled for this month and next month, so yeah, it's been busy, but it's been a good summer so far, and happy to kind of get back into playing this game, interacting with all of you guys, seeing what you guys have been up to. And it's been nice kind of commenting back and forth. A lot of you have been watching the shorts, looking at some of the farm builds, so I appreciate that in the meantime, kind of checking those out. Those are probably my most rewatched things here on Farm Sim. Alright, and let's just set this up. I think it's this, yeah. This middle pass here. And look at, I'm already almost up to, we'll kind of pause it here at 70%. Yeah, mostly on these playthrough series for Wisconsin, I've been trying to do 2 episodes for each month, so that's my plan. I'm in the month of April. Like, let me just jump in the build menu, just easier to show you. So I'm working on mowing this kind of L-shaped field here. This was our other cornfield, so I'll have to come back, and I am probably going to rake this up, kind of clean out the weeds, and then our other grass, you know, meadow field is ready to go too. So I want to get some hay off of this. You can see bale wise I'm pretty good, so that's why I kind of want to expand the cattle, and through winter did pretty well. And then I have silage in the bags here. I also have silage in the harvest store that also needs to be taken care of. And I'm thinking, as I'm gonna buy some cattle here after I mow the end of this field, I'm thinking of selling some of that silage. Just it was mostly the corn silage anyways, so I know I said I was going to use some of it probably for the cattle, but the one in the ag bags I'm definitely going to sell, so I'll have to do that. And all I have is that Parker wagon still to use, but we'll see. Maybe I'll rent something and get a couple wagons going to make the trips a little faster. But yeah, that'll give me some other profits, and then hopefully, you know, as I'm coming into, well, on the game, when I started this series, it was in August. So in the game, coming back in August, that will be the end of year 1, pushing into year 2. So making some progress on getting the farm out of debt. But I really kind of want to get going more with the cattle operation. I know it kind of looks funny with having 6 in the small calf barn, and then only having, you know, 6 dairy cows, and I'm not even getting any milk from them yet. So that's really kind of what I want to focus on here as I kind of continue to play here on this Wisconsin map. Alright, so this should be just one more pass, and then let's get to some cattle work here. But yes, I've thought about switching this field too after we get some more cuttings off of it. We'll see. Think about maybe, well, at least adding a wheat field so I can get some straw on my own property. Alright, let's fold this up. Oops. Just raise it up. There we go. And let's take this out to the other hay field that we have. But I thought about adding a wheat field in to a rotation. So maybe instead of corn on this field, put wheat in, and then those other 2 small fields that we just purchased, maybe putting that out to corn as well again. Alright, so this is also ready to be harvested again, so this is nice. I kind of want to keep up with all of this, and then if we have some extra surplus, I'm also going to sell that off too now. That's my intent, to kind of keep up with the farm, keep up with operations, expand the cattle, and keep purchasing more cattle. That's what I want to do here. And hopefully, eventually, I mean, because these barns hold quite a few, I think you can get up at least to 200, if not 300 cattle here on this farm. And then I can start maybe expanding out to other farms. That would be really fun here on this playthrough series. Because my intention is to honestly keep playing on this map here. And like I said many times, I enjoy the build. I love the layout of everything. So I feel like if I am okay and I'm not bored yet, I just want to keep playing on this map here. And then, you know, I'll mix it in with other farm builds. I've had some ideas of like some smaller, like short playthrough series, maybe like, you know, 6 to 8 episodes of doing some other productions on different maps. So we'll see what happens. But for my main playthrough, what I like to do, you know, this kind of dairy farming, small equipment playthrough series, definitely kind of stay on this type of a map here. But this is what I really enjoy, so I hope you enjoy it as well, kind of tuning in. Alright, I'm going to do one more pass here, and then let's get to the cattle. I know I said I was just going to drop it off, but it's so easy to keep playing on it. It is. It's very, very easy. But yeah, let's get to the cattle, and then kind of go back to that fertilizer and maybe finish up this mowing into the next episode, and then start getting some hay off it here. So I always feel like when you come out of winter, gosh, there's always so much to do. Early spring in particular, and then you kind of get into summer, you get into a little bit of a rhythm, routine, and then you get to that fall, which is all your harvest. You know, it gets busy again. So yeah, definitely like an ebb and flow with where the months take you, I guess. Because yeah, now that I purchased those 2 new fields, we gotta get that corn off too. So don't want that to wither. And get that off the field as well. Okay. And then I think that's, I mean, I know mostly on this field, like once I did 2 passes, I feel like then I started to go back and forth and do like straight passes like this. And then I'd switch around the mower, which I think it's probably faster just to do circles. I'm missing a little bit. Yeah, there we go. It's probably faster to do circles, but I think it's fun to do some of the straight passes. So, here we go. If alright, turn it off, swap it around. Here we go. And then come over this way. Like I could do this. But like this way, I don't know about you, it feels like I'm almost driving on the wrong side of the road. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is completely acceptable, you know, go this way. can't remember. I think I went circles last time. But who knows? I mean, I feel like episodes kind of blend together. I'd have to go back and rewatch things. Turn it off. Do a swap like that. So I feel like most farmers in real life would just do circles on that. That's what I think. All right. Cattle. Let's get to the cattle here. Okay, so I haven't really used my farm truck at all, but I want to move. So my idea is on the farm here, so you have this main milking barn here that comes into this this stall, and I have nothing in there. I want to move some of my cows in there, but before, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I like the pace I am playing at. I have the 6 calves in here. Now these are 8 months, like I said. I'm going to move them into this back heifer barn. I'm going to move them into here. And then my other heifer barn that's off to the right here, this side barn also only has 6 in it. And let me check. I believe this holds, what is it? Yeah, 25. So I only have 6 in here, and they're almost to, like I said, I think 2 of them are at 70% for reproduction. So I can start to get some calves on my own, and then kind of rotate them out into that smaller barn. So first, let's move the other ones. Gotta remember where all the triggers are too. But let's move the calves. Let's see, is it here it'll give it to me? Oh, there it is. Just had it. Okay. This is, yeah, putting them into, yep, move to the trailer. Okay. All 5. Okay. Got them in our trailer, and let's just do a turn here. Now let's take them to the other barn over here. Now I believe you cannot, for heifers, you can't buy 8 months. I think it's, is it 12 or 10? Something like that. I'll check here, because I like to put in more than, you know, these 5. So let's move them into, there we go. Yeah, see, it only holds 6 in there. I wonder why I only have 5. Alright, can I... Alright. Let's just see. Yeah, so there's 8 months, so yeah, 12 months. I could put in a couple. Yeah, because that doesn't look like many. But I mean, we're making progress, and I have some money to spend here. I know we're down to 63,000 here. We got to pay off more debt. However, we're doing that fertilizing contract, and that was the purpose of all that. So let's drive back over. I'm not going to move anyone into this main barn yet. With the calves, though, I do want to place some in here. And yeah, you can get 12 in here. So I can go up to the store. And let's go put in 6 really quick. I could just, teleport them in, which I might do with the other barn. But let's do a quick drive together. Ah! Oh my gosh. Crash number 1 of the episode. Many more to come. So yeah, let's go up and get 6. And yeah, some of these fields we'll come back to here, see how much I can get done here, and then kind of call it good into next month here, into my second episode of April. But I have a whole list of things I want to do, which sometimes, honestly, yeah, it gets pushed into May. So it's just how it is. But that's one great thing about playing simulation games is it is kind of how you want it to be. Alright, so I'm not like saving a ton of money. I understand that on purchasing them like this and then putting them in. But yeah, I'm saving a little bit on transportation, but I could really do without that. Alright, so 1,800 for the new calves. And this is where, like, after a couple trips, it's kind of like, alright, I'll just pay the transportation fee and put them in the barn. But, yeah, anyways, so to get back to what I've been up to, when I'm not playing Farm Sim, I tend to play other games, other simulation games. And what games do you guys play? If you're not playing Farm Sim or it's summertime and you're taking a break from playing, what other games do you like playing? I know most of you that are probably into playing Farm Sim or you watch the channel, most of you are probably playing other games, which I totally do as well. I like to dabble in other things to kind of play, kind of relax with. For example, another simulation game I've been playing is City Skylines, and it's the first one. You can actually do like agriculture in it, and you can put in different farms and productions with farming. So I've been having fun with that, and it's been nice to take a little break from Farm Sim here, but also when you come back to it, it's been nice to kind of get back into it. And makes me kind of miss it, Alright, so we have new calves in here. Now I purchased 6, as you just saw, and I think I'm going to leave it at 6. I mean, you could put 12, up to 12, but let's put more in. Let's save some more money. Let's put more in the other one. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what other games do you like? Like I said, I play other simulation games. I know there's a bunch of other things on Steam. They just had their summer sale, so that's why I purchased that. I play like other racing games, stuff like that, just to kind of pass the time and kind of relax. All right, so what should we do? We have 5 in here, but let's put in, I'm thinking the 12 months. I mean, that's $11,000. Put in 7, that's 10,000. I don't want to, and look at like the transportation fees, $560 for it. I don't want to put in 5 months. I want to keep these as heifers, because then when they get to that 28 month and older, then I'm going to put them into the bigger milking barn. I want to kind of start to rotate them through. I guess let's do 7. That's $10,000. Puts me at 50,000, and then we need to feed them as well. So I think that looks a little better. So pretty cool. I like that. We finally have some cows in this barn. That looks pretty nice. And let's kind of move the trailer out of the way. They need some feed for sure, because I've not put any feed in there. I do have some mix already in the wagon, but then yeah, I need to get back to doing some field work here, and then I'm going to call it here on this episode. So a lot has been done. Oh, and there's a little preview. There's a new piece of equipment to the farm, but I'll come back to that. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but yeah, with purchasing that corn field, I did purchase a new piece of equipment there. Alright, so let's get over to feeding that pen, or that barn. I think, yeah, they have nothing in there, and they need some straw too. And let's see, they have manure in there only, no feed, obviously, no. And they have feed, they're good. And they have a little bit, but they also need some coming up. Alright, let's just do a loop here. We'll feed our new heifers. And then I gotta get some straw in there. Because I like the idea of having to clean out their pens. But you need that straw in there to produce that manure. Most of you already know that. But now with this pen, like, I'm gonna probably get some of that slurry, so I think I have to get that special hookup for this map. Get the slurry out of here as well. So cool. A lot of new things happening here on this playthrough, so that's very exciting. Alright, I just filled them up. Where are they at? 6,000? Oh wait, that's the other barn. Oh yeah, 8,000. Okay. They're pretty good. Straw. Now with, let me just park this real quick before I get ahead of myself. With the straw, I think, honestly, I just placed it and it would accept the straw. But let's double check here. And just doing a loop here because I'll need to refill my tank here. Alright, oh, there it is. I knew I kind of left my weight, but let's grab a bale of straw. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did not need a spreader when placing straw. Well, let's just double check, because I'm pretty sure I just got the straw off and it accepted it for this. And I mean, that's obviously from map to map. I know some of you ask about that, but yeah, sometimes you do need a spreader for the trigger to work, others you do not. I just want to try it with, let's get this bale over here. I just want to try it with one bale. And then I'm going to get back out to the field work, and we're just going to call it here on this episode. I know I'm going a little bit later, a little bit longer with you guys, but I mean, that's what happens here on these kind of games, these simulation games. You know, like I said, what other games do you guys like playing? Let me know. I feel like some of these simulation games, I kind of looked at some of the trucking games as well, but did not get into that. Let's see, will it accept it here? I think it takes it if I'm in the pen. Let's try that. But yeah, like any simulation game, I feel like you kind of get lost a little bit. And then same thing with, you know, Farm Sim, you kind of get lost. You can kind of just keep playing and playing. And I know some of you recommended some of the European maps, and I've kind of checked some of those out. I have steered away from them a little bit sometimes in the past, just because I, oopsie, yep, I took it. Because people on my channel just don't watch it as much, which is fine. All right, 3,000 or 3,600. Okay. So yeah, that's if you are playing on this, I think the trigger is somewhere in here. Hello. Did you have a good and warm nap? But yeah, the trigger's in there, so you don't need a spreader on this map to get it to work. But you could, I mean, if you just want to kind of simulate that, perfect, go for it. But yeah, some of those simulation games, like, oh my gosh, City Skylines, and then doing agriculture type productions and working that out. I mean, gosh, just playing that, it takes, a couple hours setting up your infrastructure. You really can kind of get lost in the game, which is fun. It's super fun to do. Like I said, I play some of the other racing games in the summer. I also do play a little bit of hero shooter games, so kind of a mix. But yeah, I always come back to Farm Sim, and I've been asked, like, oh, why don't you stream some of those other games? Well, I feel like, I don't know, maybe people would be like, oh my gosh, she's just so bad at these other games, just stick to Farm Sim. And then B, my other thing is why I don't stream other games, is I kind of like to stay with Farm Sim as my main game here on the channel, and it's like my outlet, like I love playing this game, but those other games, those are like my games to get away from this game. That's like my outlet to just try other things, because I want to play games. I mean, that is my thing I like to do in my free time, so that's like my other way to get away from this game, if that makes sense. So there's your reason why I don't kind of like stream other things, So, alright, I'm gonna finish up this. I kind of jumped around a lot on this episode, but yeah, made some good progress this month. You can see them, look at how much we spent money-wise on this episode, down to 50,000, but with this contract, and then, going into later in the month here in April, I think we're in a good place here, and then I can start to pay more of that debt back. But then also, I wanted to get more cattle, kind of push forward with all of that, and then obviously we have more field work to do now with those two other fields, that corn and that bean field here on the channel. So, all right, I will let you guys go there. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new and just finding the channel, like a lot of you are now in the summer, I'd love to have you tag along, join the Farming with Nick community. Let me know what you think about this playthrough series and others, and feel free to check out some of the stuff on my spread shop. I know a lot of you have been clicking on that, kind of checking out some of the new merchandise that I have available this summer. And yeah, I hope to see you all on the next one as I kind of get back here playing hopefully more regularly and getting some content out for the rest of this summer. So thank you again for joining me, and hope to see everyone on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.